Welcome to GNT, your one-stop shop for gaming news and whatever else we want to talk about. I'm Nick.
And I'm Hernando.
Today we are going to start with GTA 5 is the best-selling physical game so far this year in the UK. Which, I mean, I know it's a great game and we've talked about that before, but that just blows my mind that it's still outselling other games.
See, it doesn't blow my mind. I mean, Rockstar has created a monster. And it's the best kind of monster you can have.
Yeah, good monster.
I mean, we've talked about it numerous times on the show. It is just a phenomenal game. Mm-hmm. And the support, the continued support, is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
And the content, the free content, phenomenal. I mean, this is what other game developers need to strive to be like.
Mm-hmm.
And we're starting to see that. It's starting to come around. There was some new content that they released for Titanfall 2 that had me excited to actually, go back in and start playing that again, which I'm going to. So,
yeah.
I mean, and it's free. So, that's one of those things where you have that content and you make it readily available to players. They'll continue to play your game.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Titanfall 3, I'll have it because of that. So,
and continue to buy it.
Yeah.
And Battlefront 2, they've said that all DLC will be free, so jumping on that bandwagon.
Well, EA, that's new EA's model, and I think that's smart because, yeah, you can sell these different special editions and stuff, and I hope to kind of see that fad go away a little bit. Not that I don't mind the special editions, but I miss the day of when a special edition was cool and not just content that should have been released with the game. So I'll be anxious to see if we can kind of reverse that trend a little bit, but I don't think we will because at the end of the day, if the developers can make money on them, they're going to. And so I don't think we'll ever see it go away, but I think we can see it calm down a little bit and maybe stabilize,
Yeah, as long as people are buying, though.
Right.
They'll keep doing it. Pokemon Go Fest was this past Saturday in Chicago, and I think it's fair to say it was a bit of a failure. Maybe not a bit, but we have just some highlights from the festival that we will be going through.
My distinct pleasure to welcome you to the very, very first Pokemon Go Fest live here in Grant Park in Chicago. DJ Echo, how you doing?
TJ Echo.
Help me
I
welcome.
just want to make sure that we can hear it because it doesn't look like it's.
Yeah, I remember we did this. We had this problem before.
I thought it fixed it.
Well, let's
We'll
on.
just roll on.
We'll ad-lib over it. At this point, we can commentate. So
Okay.
Stroll that beautiful bean footage.
CEO of Niantic, Mr. John Hayes.
So the CEO came out and it's just a mix, but a lot of booze.
It's a majority boo.
Booze.
Yeah. At this point, players can't play. So you take a game where you want people out and about playing, and they can't play, and you're gonna have some pissed off people.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, and they addressed it at one point. I guess it was their side, which the game was crashing and there were issues with it. But then it was mostly, I think, the network. I guess just couldn't handle that many people.
Wow, that's poor planning.
Yeah.
On this because they needed to make sure that it was going to be playable.
Yeah.
You can't do something like this and not bring your A game.
So I love that they keep asking like, oh, how many Pokemon have you guys been catching? It's like none. We can't play.
Yeah, so
There have been maybe 10 unknown spawns. I was there for about 4, and they don't like me. I'm gonna set up a season where it's
And this guy from Mystic.
yeah, I mean, I was already turned off from the game in the beginning, but I mean that makes me want to just burn it. I just want to burn my cell phone.
Yeah.
I mean, this is painful.
I don't know. I mean, although we drove through town here and saw a bunch of people
We
playing.
can only assume that they're Pokemon.
Yeah.
We saw a Pokemon backpack, a Pokemon T-shirt. Whether that was the real deal or not, I don't know. It seemed awfully coincidental.
Yeah.
So
I guess some people are still getting out there after this update, and
which, I mean, isn't bad.
No.
I mean, but I don't know.
Now the crowd is chanting, "We can't play."
And they're trying to just continue on. At this point, they need to be like, okay, we understand.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing from this compilation is at some point just stop and
Well, they need to be apparent or not apparent, but they need to be transparent in this aspect and just do it so, people can, know that we have a problem. We're trying to address it.
yeah.
Which I'll bring that up in another aspect here in a little bit, but
Now this guy did address it. I didn't include that in this, but he does say, "Hey, we're
it
working
just
on
makes
it."
it look better. People
Yeah.
vote them and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's funny.
Okay, so back to Jake. What is your favorite Pokemon here?
Yes. What's your favorite Pokemon?
How's your brother doing? So he's got a twin brother. How's Nick?
This kid's funny
I
too.
don't think he caught any yet.
Okay, we'll try to change that.
The next
Just say he hasn't caught any Pokemon.
that will be released is Articuno.
And now this girl's just freaking out about the.
I hope you
Yeah. Overall, I think it was probably a big dud.
Yeah.
So, I get it's a valiant effort, but at the end of the day, they probably did more harm than they did good. I mean, if they had just came out and said, okay, now we got legendary Pokemon out there, everybody would have been like,
Yeah.
that's great. They wouldn't have had the game crash, and then people would have played and got the legendary Pokemon, and everybody would have been happy, But no, they tried to go big, and they should have gone home. So
Yeah. Yep. Facebook shut down an AI they invented after it taught itself a new language. They had two bots named Bob and Alice, and they started communicating with each other in a made-up language which used English words but used it as code words and not in any way that they could really understand what they were saying. The researchers that looked back at it got an idea of what they were saying to each other, but they couldn't be sure. Ultimately, they want the AI to speak, regular English so they can interact with humans. But I just thought it was a cool little story, and there are people out there that say that AI, people are like AI are going to take over, and I don't think any of that will happen. But I do think it's cool and kind of weird too, kind of eerie to see this AI being created and then start communicating with each other, and we can't tell what they're saying.
Well, I think the only eerie part about that is about how Facebook ultimately wants the AI to speak English so it can interact with humans, but basically Facebook has taken human interaction away from exactly that. I mean, I got 100 friends on Facebook. I mean, yeah, so they scroll through their phone and act like they give a shit. Society has gone so far away from what it actually is to, have friends and stay connected to this Facebook, which gives you this false sense of having people, give a shit. And I know it's way off topic, so I'm not gonna really dive. I'm not gonna tell you how I really feel about it. No, I'm just gonna say that it's just kind of funny because they've really, and that's just my opinion. I just think that they've drove a wedge in between people because, like I said, the way this Facebook thing is, and I wasn't tagged in this photo, and they've really created this, society where people get upset and mad and sad and happy and stuff, and all this stuff from this website, and it's nothing. I mean, it was supposed to keep people connected that lived far away so they could see pictures of what's going on and stuff, and now it's more about me and you being Facebook friends. That's not how it's supposed to be, and it's just sad because it's just it's, I don't know. I could go on for a long time, but I think it's a downfall to have it and to rely so much on it. But
I agree. Yeah, that is a downfall to rely on it. But I mean, like you said too, it does have some cool stuff. Like a family member is in, I don't know, France or England now, and it's cool seeing pictures from there.
And that's how it's intended to be used.
Yeah.
But that's a rare instance how
Yeah.
it's truly used. that is exactly what it was meant for. It was so, we can share that experience, even though we're several thousand miles away. We can share that experience. That's kind of what it was, originally designed for. And now it's developed its own thing where it's all about, how many friends do you got? And, oh, man, did you see this person? They posted that they took a shit today. No one cares, Like I said, it's just to the point where everybody gets this false sense of, this person really cares. They liked my comment or this, that. It's just horse shit. But that's just my opinion. And you're entitled to it. That's right.
That's right.
So...
And they've done studies that whenever someone like gets a like or something, like the chemical reaction in the brain is like the same as like a high, not to the extent, but like being high or something like that. So I mean, you get a like and it does makes you feel better.
So you're saying Facebook or stoners?
I don't say that. But.
They need that. They need to outlaw it. How many ounces of Facebook are you carrying today, Nick?
Too much.
Oh man, see, I keep clean. I'm on the wagon or off the wagon, whatever the shit, whatever you call it.
Whatever wagon.
I'm clean. No Facebook on me.
HTC. Speaking of Facebook, oh no, that's Oculus. HTC has developed a headset that does not require a PC or a phone. All the hardware is in the headset itself. They announced that it will be initially available in China. Other than that, I didn't see much more about it. I can't imagine it'll be as... It could be up there with the phone, I guess, but like a PC, I mean, runs so much that...
Well, yeah, and you have to have such a powerful PC to run that stuff. So, yeah, obviously it's not going to be quite the level as what you'd get from the PC performance. But, this coming from... we had cell phones that used to be huge. Yeah. Now we have a cell phone that's... thinner is better, and they do so damn much that, it's only a matter of time till they can put all that hardware and power that they need into the headset itself. So it's a step forward. It's a step in that direction.
Yeah.
So
soon everybody will just have headsets on walking around
and be on Facebook.
I think I was like laying in bed playing a game, or I was looking at my phone, and I don't know why I just randomly had this thought the other night. I was like, it just blew me away. I was like, how much can your phone do? And it's like, this long, that thin, and it's just incredible.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls Legends is now available on mobile devices. So if you wanted to play that game on the go, I might get that.
I did enjoy it when we were playing it. I don't know how well it'd work on a mobile device. On a tablet, I could see it working good, but just because of the size. I don't know. I'd have to see how it... I mean, you could probably zoom in, which would be fine, but it was definitely a fun game.
I never played it much on PC after we tried it. But it
would be well suited, I think, for a mobile game because... you pick up, you can do a match, short amount of time, and then you do, different things. So that'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Now we got Fortnite this past weekend. Been playing it quite a bit. Overall, I'm loving it. Like, just I guess you have your own main base that you have a shield and you want to upgrade it, but then you have missions where you go out into the world and get supplies and do missions and stuff. And it's just a really good cycle of like. I'll work on my base, upgrade it, build it to defend from zombies. I'll go out into the world, do a mission, get supplies, go back to my base, and it just has a really good flow to it for me, and where I can sink hours into it, pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, it combines several different games. I was telling a friend about it, trying to persuade them into getting it. Minecraft plus Borderlands plus a tower defense game, equals Fortnite. And the pacing, like you said, the pacing's good. It just keeps you wanting to play. I know typically I'm not one to stay up real late unless something, I have a real decent sink my teeth into like a movie or a show or in this instance a game. This just has such a good cycle of you play and you get rewards, and then you want to go and play again to get more rewards or to try out your rewards, and it's such a good cycle. The pacing is really good. And this is I guess we should have thrown this out there first, is that you're paying to play in the closed beta. So the game is not fully finished yet. That being said, whenever it is finished, it's going to be free to play. And you say, well, how can it be free to play when you pay, or when you're paying, X amount of dollars to buy it now? Well, whenever the game is fully released, there are microtransactions. And how they supplement that for the people that have paid for it is that you get stuff more frequently because you're a founder. So it kind of supplements that. I mean, you can still make purchases now, but you don't have to. Now, whenever they make the game free to play, whether you still have that founder status and you still kind of get that loot intake, I'm not sure how that'll be. But I think by that point, I mean, we'll be looking at endgame content. And and I think what the thing is it's still, no two matches are alike. We did a mission last night where I defended my storm shield for the 5th time, and I have my base laid out a certain way, and me and you did that mission, and then you got to that mission, and I helped you defend it, and you had your base laid out differently, so it wasn't the same.
No.
But yet it was the same mission. We played it. It was 2 different ways. So, really just a really cool game, really fun. I was a little nervous because I've always been the one to say I'm not real keen on like the building stuff, but this game just does it in a way that now you've taken more of a creative spin to your fort, as well as, I mean, it's practical, but you've really made it something that's got a Nick touch to it. I, on the other hand, went for like just, nothing fancy, but it's reinforced and tried to be well thought out on preview, because what's kind of cool is you go through, and the first time you do it, you kind of don't know what to expect. So you build your base. And then the second time you defend your shield, you kind of know what's going on, so then you adapt to that. Yeah. So then you do it for a 3rd time, and you've got to change your layout again, and you do it a 4th time, and so on and so forth. So it really, it keeps it fresh in a manner that's, it's like, oh man, I want to tweak my fort. I know where I want to put this trap this time, or I know where I want to put a wall or a half wall, or I know I want to cut off this ramp somehow. That's the kind of stuff that's cool,
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, change it up, though, introduce new enemies, like one that can, throw stuff over walls. So it's like, oh, now I need to put a roof over it. And, yeah, like I'll upgrade it, I'll run out of stuff, and I'll be like, okay, now I need to go back out into the world, get more supplies, then go back to my base. And it's a really cool game.
I recommend checking it out.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I think, if you buy the $40 version, there's no doubt in my mind you'll get your money out of it. No doubt. Now, if you pay like the $60 version like we got, you get some more bonus content, which really does help you start out a little more ahead. But I think just overall, it's just a really sound game. And like I said, after the show tonight, I can't wait to go home and play. So, So it's one of those things where it really gets its meat claws into you, and you really have a good time. Yeah,
one aspect that really reminds me of Minecraft is I'll be playing Minecraft, and I'll think, okay, I want to build this. So I go build it, and then I'll be like, once I do that, I'll quit. And then I build it, and it's like, wait, now I need to add this, and then I'll do that, and then before you know it, it's like 3 hours later, at midnight or later, and then like, okay, I should probably stop. But
yeah, it's like, and then like building the weapons. It's like you build a weapon, and then it's like, oh man, I want to try it out. So then you try it out, and then it's like, oh man, okay, now I want to tweak this, and now and at first it's a little overwhelming, and they do a good job of explaining it. It's not, I mean, they do that, and it can seem like, wow, what, but it's a kind of a, I'm not going to say overcomplicated, but I'm going to say it seems complicated, but it's really a simplistic thing of just further boosting your stats. by plugging in characters into different slots, you get these survivors, and essentially what you're doing is you're trying to match them up so they boost a certain stat, and the more you boost them up, the more they boost the stat. So it's kind of a way of, adding, I don't know, like gems to sockets essentially.
Yeah.
It's kind of, but they've got different levels. They've got the rarity levels and stuff, and it kind of seems more complicated, but it's really a simplistic, stat boosting thing. But you're really thinking, oh man, well, who do I want to put here or whatever? Now you just want to make sure you're obtaining the highest number you can, and that's all your goal is,
That's exactly, because at first I was playing like the support people, and I'm putting in, I'm like, I have no idea what this is for, but then I put in, I see the numbers light up and go up. I'm like, okay, I try look at different people, and that's basically.
And what I did is I really dumped all assets into that collection book, which didn't leave me a lot on my plate whenever it came to plugging different stuff in there. So it kind of simplified. I wasn't even thinking of that aspect whenever I was plugging my characters in, because I didn't have a lot on my plate. And so it's just, and that's just a little dynamic thing where it changes. Like, you play the game your way and I play the game my way, but yet we can play together and both have an enjoyable experience. That's fun. So
you could play the game, and you have to do some building, but if you're not into that, you could just go, and if you're playing with other people, go and shoot zombies the whole time or whatever. But not with your base, you're gonna have to build some stuff. But you can do whatever aspect you want to do.
But if you had friends that you could have join you, you don't have to get like crazy on your base. And I think that's kind of like the line. I went a little, and I would like to do little things to tweak it, but at the end of the day, I didn't go like batshit crazy on my base. So, but the possibilities are there. So it's really cool.
Oh yeah. We had some trailers from Comic-Con, some officially and some unofficially released. The Walking Dead trailer came out for season 8, and it started out, and overall, at least till the end, it was kind of what I expected. Like, I was satisfied. It shows they're getting ready to battle, and shows a little more action, hopefully, which I was happy about, and between Rick's group and Negan. But then they got to the end with the last scene with Rick laying in the bed, looking old, and then that piqued my interest. Now reading through some comments, I got an idea of what people say, what they think is coming, and I guess if you don't want anything spoiled, now these aren't necessarily spoilers, it's just what people... Speculation, yeah.
Possibilities.
I guess there's a part of the comics after All Out War called A New Beginning, and I guess there's a time jump there, so that's what people are kind of speculating, that they're going to do that in the show. Kind of have the war, and then maybe at the end of the season... to skip ahead a little bit, but
now I think that as much as we would like them to do the war a majority of the season, I just don't think that they're going to do it. I don't know.
They might not.
Coming off of season 7, my expectations are low. That being said, the trailer did look promising. But I hate to get my hopes up after the huge letdown of season 7.
Yeah.
6 was all right. 5 was good.
5 was good.
Yeah, 5
I really think 3, 4 was where it peaked for me.
Yeah.
Like, those were incredible to me.
They were strong seasons.
Yeah.
5 was good, too.
5 was good.
But then 6 went down a little bit, and 7 was just a complete shit show.
Yeah.
It was almost... I almost got to the point where I didn't want to watch it. It was almost to the point where, how are they going to let me down this week? And I just don't understand it. You have such a rock solid formula that you can stick to, and have the show be so tremendously successful, and you screw that up. I just don't understand it. But
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Looking at the season, I could see... Well, I'm hoping is that, like you said, I hope it takes the majority of the season and we get some good battles between the two groups. The the one shot, it had someone captured in like a shipping crate or whatever it is, and it kind of looked like Rick to me. It wasn't super clear, but I'm thinking maybe like half mid-season finale, maybe they'll capture Rick, and maybe that'll be like the cliffhanger there, and then
It'll be the Junkyard Gang.
yeah.
Yeah, which those assholes need to get their asses handed to them.
Yeah. I was thinking, I don't know if there's anyone on the show, the history of the show, that I wanted to die more than the lady from that gang.
Just because her haircut.
Yeah.
I'd lob that bitch's head off.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I hope to see Michonne lob her head off. That'd be good.
I'd like to see like Rick do it with like a hatchet.
That'd be good too. Wouldn't complain.
Like a piece of scrap metal or something, just hacking away at that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, something grisly. I mean, come on, the guy bit the jugular vein out of somebody's vein.
Yep.
Let's get him back into some just real down and dirty, messy, gory, kill.
I'm all for it.
All right.
Then we had the Infinity War trailer, which was leaked after they showed it at Comic-Con. And it kind of annoys me how it's like, okay, you're showing at Comic-Con, unless you take every single person's phone, every single thing that they could, people are going to record it. So it's like, just release it at times so we can get a good, quality version. But anyway, seeing the cell phone recorded from like an angle version, I was still blown away by the trailer. Like, it just looks awesome as I was expecting it to be. But did you ever get a chance to see it?
No, I didn't. I'm a purist.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be tainted by this
I was tainted.
shoddy camera jobs of a trailer. I wanted to do justice. And
I succumbed to the
I know.
tainted.
I'm disappointed. You've disappointed me on this one. You've really gone down a notch in my book because you watched the bootlegged version of the Infinity War trailer.
There was one version the first version I saw, and it was worse. It was like half the screen, like you saw a corner, and I saw it and I clicked on. And I was like, no, I'm not watching that. But then someone had a decent one where you could at least see the whole screen. But I succumbed to that.
I can't believe that shit.
And then last weekend we saw Valerian.
Yes, we saw Valerian. I liked it. I had higher expectations for it, but now looking back at it, I mean, it was every bit as good as The Fifth Element. Could it have been more? Yes and no. I say that as could it have been different and I would have liked it better? Yes, definitely. But it wouldn't have been in the same likeness of The Fifth Element if it would have been different. I think it stayed true to like a formula where they weren't trying to make like the main villain. I think that was supposed to be very transparent. I mean, they didn't come right out and say it whenever you started to think it, but at the same time, you knew, and they didn't. I mean, they didn't try to play any crazy tactic of, it's not him. I mean, they didn't do it. So, I think if you're looking for an overly complex plot, that isn't what you're gonna get. Special effects wise, I like the universe. I like the whole premise of the movie. A little this was just a little annoyance. Everybody's seen the scene where the creature's chasing them and they're on like a floating bus, and they barely escape that creature. Well, they didn't really do a lot to build that character, the main villain that released that character up, but he said about how he would come after them, and then that ended right there. And I mean, even if they would have, shown him with his goons in Valerian, it just had, whenever he was out in that district, and then had them, go into a different disguise, that would have been just enough of a little twist just to tidy that up, you know. But I mean, I'm just splitting hairs there. I think overall it was a good movie. I'm anxious to see it, on Blu-ray. We went and saw it in 3D and in D-Box, which are the seats that move. And I think that took away a little bit of it because it was such a visually driven movie. I mean, you're moving around. You've got 3D, which anymore 3D isn't that great. So
yeah, I didn't really notice a lot of 3D.
no, and it was. I mean, they had some critics' reviews up there that said it was supposed to be better than Avatar.
Yeah.
I have yet to see a movie that has topped the 3D I saw in Avatar.
No,
and I went
yeah.
and saw Avatar in not a fancy theater, just a basic theater that would show the movie in 3D, and I was blown away. I mean,
Yep.
I don't understand how you can go from doing that in that movie years ago, and no one has brought to the table 3D like that.
No.
You know, so I mean, here's James Cameron and Avatar too.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that to see that in 3D because I will. And it'll probably suck. So,
Probably.
but oh well.
Yeah. Overall, I thought it was okay. I thought the visuals were good, like the ships and the planets and the whole environment. I thought was really cool. The beginning, I really liked the beginning, how they start out on Earth and then these aliens show up and showing them all connecting.
yeah.
That whole aspect was awesome. I
Yeah,
thought.
the origins. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't expect that either.
No.
I didn't expect that origin story, which was really good.
Yeah. The story was where it lacked for me. I thought there was never a point until the very end where I thought there were really any high stakes or that they were in any danger. Like, it just wasn't intense for me, I guess. The very end, it got a little bit.
Well, I mean, without giving too much away, I mean, I think the underlying drive there was that they were to think that the whole city was in danger from that toxic, which they really didn't do anything to further that.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of spoiled that. I mean, you would have thought that commander would have had, I mean, with a city, a city of 1,000 planets, nobody goes into that quarantine zone. They don't have people guarding the quarantine
Yeah.
zone. Now that you say that, you've ruined it for me.
Sorry.
Thank you. You've totally screwed the movie for me.
No, it's awful.
Thanks, Nick. But no, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we're just splitting hairs. I mean, it was still good. I mean, like I said, I don't think you're looking. If you go into that expecting an overcomplicated plot, you're going to be disappointed. It's not there. It's a simplistic plot, good action, good visual effects.
Yeah.
And if you're a sci-fi fan, I think you'll dig it. I mean, is it going to be the best movie you ever saw? No. Is it going to be Ghost in the Shell? No. Nothing can live up to that.
No.
But I mean, that came out on Blu-ray if you didn't know this week, and it's a favorite movie. I mean, it's one of my top 10. So, but that's a whole nother story. So, but yeah. So I mean, I would check it out if you're a fan of sci-fi and stuff. It's definitely worth checking out. So.
Yeah, I saw somebody was telling me about. I guess some people were complaining about the people they picked to play the main two roles. And I like I don't know the guy's name, but I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, their chemistry, that I watched a review where they said about the chemistry that she had with that gunner, that guy that took over the gunning station whenever they are in the market, was more believable and more dynamic than their chemistry between them two had the whole way through the movie. So.
Yeah, it did. That did seem a little. I thought she was okay. I don't know. Just for some reason, she didn't. She kind of didn't seem to
sincere?
fit. Yeah. I don't know. But I thought the guy did a great job.
But like, I mean, and here we're splitting hairs over the finer details of the movie. I mean, overall it was good. It was an entertaining experience, and I'll get it whenever it comes out on Blu-ray. So, but
Yep. So that's it. Thanks for watching or listening. Keep following us via our SoundCloud, YouTube.
And one more thing, stay tuned because in a brief intermission, we're going to have a follow-up show that you should find very entertaining. So
I know we will.
Yes, I know we will. So after a brief 5 to 10 minute intermission, we'll be coming back. Well, we won't be coming back live, but the channel will be coming back live for another show. So stay tuned.